Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Metropolis Radio. Today, well, you obviously read the title of this video before clicking on it. I made that claim, and yes, I'm sticking to it. Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness's box office numbers are complete fucking bullshit. I just saw this article from Variety here. I was initially going to record and upload this yesterday. That would be May 9th, which would be the Monday. But I wanted to wait for the Sunday box office numbers to update, and they haven't updated for whatever reason. So let's just go ahead and get started with this. From this report from Variety, box office, Doctor Strange 2 debuts to quote-unquote heroic, now I'm adding the quote-unquote heroic part to this, $185 million. Now, why are these numbers bullshit? Well, I'll get into that by the end, because even this box office report does acknowledge why these numbers are bullshit. Doctor Strange and his questionably effective Book of Spells has summoned a blockbuster $185 million at North American movie theaters over the weekend, reaffirming the box office dominance of Disney's Marvel Cinematic Universe after a shakier pandemic-battered year for the sprawling franchise. The timeline-bending Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness represents a return to form for Disney's MCU after COVID-era releases Black Widow at an $80 million debut, plus $60 million on Disney+, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, a $75 million debut, and Eternals with a $71 million debut. Due to the pandemic and other extenuating circumstances, those installments failed to live up to their franchise predecessors in terms of ticket sales. Initial box office receipts for Disney's latest MCU entry marks the 11th biggest opening weekend in history. Given the anomaly of reaching those heights, Doctor Strange 2 easily delivered the biggest opening weekend of 2022, as well as the second biggest debut in COVID-19 times. Prior to this weekend, The Batman stood as the year's biggest opening weekend with $134 million. Spider-Man No Way Home still ranks as the pandemic's biggest opening weekend and the second biggest ever with $260 million. Overseas, the film earned $265 million from 49 territories, taking the global total to $450 million. Since Doctor Strange 2 is not likely to play in China, no, I think it got banned in China. Anyway, let me reread. I shouldn't have tangented right there. Since Doctor Strange 2 is not likely to play in China, Russia, or Ukraine, the film will rely on repeat viewings from audiences around the globe to push ticket sales past the coveted $1 billion mark. Only Spider-Man No Way Home has been able to cross that threshold since COVID took hold. And I don't know if repeat viewings are even going to be really a thing with this movie, because I have heard that Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness not that great. Again, that is not my personal review. That's just what I've heard. That could be complete utter bullshit for all I know. At the domestic box office, the Doctor Strange followed outgrossed its predecessor's entire opening weekend tally in a single day. Multiverse of Madness raked in $90 million on Friday alone, while the 2016 adventure Doctor Strange brought in $85 million between Friday and Sunday. Well, yeah, back in 2016, who the hell even knew who Doctor Strange was? I mean, I was one of those weirdos back in elementary school that actually read Doctor Strange comics because I wanted to read more than just Spider-Man, X-Men, and Fantastic Four, which were the three most popular books when I was in elementary school in the early 2000s. You know, I wanted to be that weird kid that read stuff like, you know, Doctor Strange, Black Panther, Gambit. What's another one I read? There were no standalone Blade comics. I think I read a couple of Punisher comics at one point. I can't remember. I haven't read a comic book probably since 2007. So I know I'm going on a bit of a tangent, but my point is, in 2016, who the hell has ever heard of Doctor Strange other than that Marvel animated movie that they made back in like 2007? For the 10 of you that actually remember that. I know I'm over exaggerating, but you get my point. Marvel and other major franchise films tend to be front-loaded in terms of ticket sales because fans want to be among the first to see the movie. Less spoilers appear online and ruin the fun. Still, the sequel will quickly blow past the final box office tally of the original Doctor Strange, which ended its theatrical run with $232 million domestically and $677 million globally. Doctor Strange 2 is benefiting as the follow-up film to Sony's box office behemoth Spider-Man No Way Home, which became a must-see movie event and grossed $1.8 billion worldwide. And I will not deny that. And I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but we'll circle back to this point. with Peter Parker's tantalizing adventures as a precursor, plus Disney's marketing machine heavily teasing some big surprise cameos, Doctor Strange landed in rarefied air even for a Marvel movie. Since the franchise now spans the big and small screen, Disney Plus shows such as WandaVision and What If also contributed to the excitement. IMAX and 3D also added a higher grosses for Strange, which cost $200 million to produce, not including hefty marketing fees. According to Disney, 36% of the overall box office ticket sales came from premium formats, with $33 million from IMAX alone. Doctor Strange ranks among the company's top 10 global opening weekends. Quote, "This is another sensational Marvel opening by Marvel's own dominant standards," says David A. Gross, who runs the movie consulting firm Franchise Entertainment Research. Doctor Strange is growing its audience with a stronger follow-up release. Sam Raimi, the mastermind behind the original Spider-Man trilogy with Tobey Maguire, directed Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. The film picks up as the eponymous neurosurgeon turned Avenger, played by Benedict Cumberbatch, casts a dangerous spell that forces him to travel into the multiverse to face a mysterious new adversary and alternate versions of himself. Along with Cumberbatch, the cast includes Chiwetel Ejiofor as Carl Mordo, Elizabeth Olsen as Wanda Maximoff, aka Scarlet Witch, Benedict Wong as Wong, and I am gonna mispronounce the hell out of this name. I think it's Choquito Gomez as America Chavez. Again, I know I already butchered the fuck out of that name, but my Spanish is pretty rusty. A teen who can travel between dimensions. The film landed a 75% average on Rotten Tomatoes and a B+ cinema score, lower grades than typical Marvel movies. Doctor Strange 2 kicks off the summer blockbuster season with a bang. In coming months, Top Gun Maverick will debut on May 27th, Jurassic World Dominion will debut on June 10th, and Thor Love and Thunder debuting on July 8th should keep theaters bustling with foot traffic. With Multiverse of Madness looming large in theaters and taking up nearly every single screen in major circuits, see, I told you they would acknowledge it. Several holdover titles round out the box office charts, and I'm not going to go into that because that's not really important. I might go into it by the end, but anyway, guys, this is the point I wanted to get up to. With Multiverse of Madness looming large in theaters and taking up nearly every single screen in major circuits, yes, it was reported. Now this was via Twitter. It was a screenshot of an AMC of AMC in Times Square. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness had 70 showtimes in one day. If I remember, if I'm not an idiot, I'll splash up the tweet right here. And I did make a video a couple of days ago about the fact that Quentin Tarantino's criticisms about the Walt Disney Corporation were resurfacing after that little tidbit of information came out that, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness had 70 screenings at AMC Times Square. Now, I know that that's just one theater, but what we need to do now, we need to use our imaginations a bit and actually magnify that. How widespread was that? How many theaters over this last weekend where 60 to 85% of the multiplex was dominated by Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness? It's probably a lot more than you think. Now, this article does bring up a very good point here, and I scrolled back to it. Doctor Strange 2 is benefiting as the follow-up film to Sony's box office behemoth Spider-Man No Way Home, which became a must-see movie event and grossed $1.89 billion worldwide. I will not deny that Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is benefiting from Spider-Man No Way Home to a degree, but how big of a degree that is, simply we just don't know. How much more is it benefiting from the fact that it got, 70 screenings in one day just at AMC Times Square? Again, magnify that. How many other theaters had that? It's probably a lot more than what we care to admit. But anyway, guys, let's actually get into what the several holdover titles are, because I didn't mean to tease that. I meant to stop it a little earlier, but whatever. Let's just go into what the holdover titles are. But the box office report of the week. Tune in next week to see if Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness hangs on to its #1 spot, or if it gets dethroned by XYZ Blockbuster. Make sure. I'm going a little too far. Okay, after 2 weeks at the #1 spot, Universal's animated heist comedy The Bad Guys dropped to second place with $9.7 million from 3,839 venues. Those returns bring the movie's domestic tally to $57 million. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 took third place with $6.2 million. After 5 weeks on the big screen, the Sonic follow-up has grossed $169.9 million at the domestic box office. Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore's Fantastic Beasts 3 dropped to the #4 spot with $3.8 million. The Secrets of Dumbledore has generated $86 million to date and may struggle to cross $100 million domestically, a benchmark that prior Harry Potter adjacent movies passed in a matter of days. A24's Everything Everywhere All at Once Beat Focus features Viking epic The Northman for 5th place, as the former brought in 3.3 million and the latter brought in 2.7 million. Do they go into actual numbers? Yes. Everything Everywhere has grossed an impressive $41 million in North America. The Northman has earned $28 million to date. At the specialty box office, I don't think you guys really care about the specialty box office, but the drama happening to theaters in New York, Los Angeles, earning $34,000 from 4 venues. That translates to $8,500 per location. Whatever. I'm gonna go ahead and stop there. But yeah, getting back to my original point, in my opinion, Doctor Strange 2's box office numbers are complete, utter horseshit. Now, are they benefiting from Spider-Man No Way Home? Yes. But how much are they benefiting? Well, it's an unmeasurable statistic. Like I said, guys, I think they're contributing more from the fact that you have 70 screenings of the movie in a single day in just one theater, and it probably happened at a fuck ton more than we care to admit. So I'll end it off with this. All these movie bloggers are going to come out of the woodwork. Doctor Strange 2 is the king of the weekend box office of, May 7th, 8th, and 9th. But is it really? Can we really call the box office an even playing field anymore? A fair playing ground, whatever you want to call it? Because, if one company can essentially come in and buy up the vast majority of the multiplex, how are other movies supposed to compete? But are other movie bloggers going to touch upon that? No, because they want the headline, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is the king of its opening weekend of May 7th, 8th, and 9th. Ooh. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end it right here because I know I've probably gone on way longer than I needed to. If you stuck around this long, thanks so much for doing so. And if you've been following me on, I'm terrible at ending these videos, so I'll just see you guys next time.